Uma, Elelani. Sina nele manu, lomo kole manu, mai ona fulu, fumo de manu, ina wala lolo, ona mafoka, if I ain't no ita, ono mama, ayo wanana, mafana fana, olo marana, marana lama, ino ai mala, ai mi leana, tata mi lea, lea matana. Lua fia fi, ole aso.
Hey, testing. Maloa lele, everyone. We will be starting in 5 minutes, but this is just an announcement. There is a dark Jeep, that's the only description I've got. License plate HDD715. Your lights are on, so it'd be good if you could please make your way out and turn those lights off. Malo.
Oni vosotia usarakina no gunda ulomani. Maivuni udongo ebulidikina na sereongo. Kerui bibi au kerea moni vosotanga. Ongo no kundondo mome una tala uzaka mokila. Ena venga una aunda uanrambala buboli. Tau motuve ia una madamu no buseni rosi. Nongulega kedeme una wase alive idei. Mobole kama inongutangane au ridodo motu. Sarui malamuna ngauna mosota bolipei. Eutukuna ematamuna nongudodo moisa mokila. Nasereo koe sarapata yani nailoloma. Yanu komura tukula perea bodinoma. Bekua ni malolo walenga ni bagana nanu. Nanga una palamuna rua wasea
Kia orana, noa ia, talofa lava, Māori, talofa, nisa bula vinaka, whakalofa lahi atu, malo ni, kia orana, malo lelei. Whawhetai ka Sihova, he ok lelei ia, he ok tolonga o ta ingata ine ngahi alofa. Ko kuingoa, ko tok tāse in tauwha, ko lele mai me tufuenga kolomotua, kolonga tonga tapu, mo haatou pangai haapai, ko takai whala ki foa haapai. O ko fia ke taltalelei ki Mautolu, ki he whale o Samoa. Maloi lelei, and welcome to the Whale o Samoa. My name is Dr. Saini Taufa, and I will be your MC for this day, and it's an honour to be here. Typical Auckland weather on the outside, but I'm sure many of you are feeling nice and warm, you know, in the Whale o Samoa. For those of you who are tuning via live stream, Māori and happy Kiribati Language Week. So I'm hoping by the end of today you will learn a new Kiribati word. As many of you are aware, there are over 20 nations under the Pan-Pacific umbrella of Pacific here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. During the Matariki, we as Moana connect, acknowledge tangata whenua through the dawn blessings of our new office. And this morning we wanted to start with an acknowledgement of our realm nations, our kāinga in the Moana who paved the way for us. So we started with a tūro led by our Cook Island mātua, Anthony Tau, who is the local cultural lead and whānau ora navigator from Seedance. And, you know, as our ancestors of the Moana once did, we looked to the stars and asked our children from the Mataliki ECE to bless us with a tokelau song. As soon as they walked in, I thought, oh my gosh, our stars are here. So thank you to our children for taking time to be here. So now it's time for our opening prayer, and I would now like to invite our newer Presbyterian whaiwheau, Bendekoso Tongiatama, to please bless us with a few words and with a prayer. Malo.
Sincere greetings to all the beautiful people of Mangere ward, ladies and gentlemen, especially our MP here. To you, sir, what a nice day. We began with the rain. The rain brings us hope and richness of God's word. And I was asked this morning to come because my daughter, a minister, is ill, no good because of the sore throat, can't speak or speak to us. So on her behalf, I bring love to all beautiful people of Mangere under the MP here. To open with the, because this is the 5th birthday, so I believe that we got 5 beautiful cake in the markets there to eat later. But I believe because the 5th birthday and the first five book of the Old Testament is very connect to what we are going, because the research now is Moana Connect, the new name and community. So a very beautiful, the 5 books of Moses in the Old Testament time the beginning, Genesis, the beginning, the origin of the Old Testament, and Exodus is departure from Egypt to the Holy Land, and Leviticus is talking about the law, and the Numbers about the people worshiping God, and Deuteronomy is the rereading of the laws. So you know those things. So because I picked a hymn to sing in one verse in English and one in Niuen. If you don't know the heavenly language before, Niuen is the heavenly language. 2004 in Upper Hutt, when we recognized with the Presbyterian Church of Aotearoa, New Zealand, to record Niue is the heavenly language, meaning so nobody used the words like the slang word in a public place. So that's why. So we sing verse 1 in English, hymn, Guide me, O thy great Jehovah. Guide me, O, in English, and the new one is Jehovah Taki Taki Mai. Guide me, O the great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land. I am weak, but thou art mighty. Loving Lord, the Lord who lives forever, no death. You are from the beginning until the end. The Omega and the Alpha, the beginning to the end. How beautiful the day is. You have given us heaps of water to cool our beginning of the day's work in life. So we praise you, Lord, and we give thanks for your love to us ever since the time of creation until today. It's a very special day in this Mangere electorate. For 5 years now, and bless the new 5 years for the work that our young people is doing in this place. Not only for today, O Lord, but years to come. To bless our young people and to learn to live as Christian people, the holistic kingdom of God, the new Jerusalem when the old has gone. Bless us now, Lord, and bless us always. Whakamunui na mai a mautolu e tua ke pongpongi fōu nei. Fuaki ke tau tangata osi e malolo e tau sino. Ke lata mai tau whikau hau e tua. Ko koe, ko fua e tau kawenga osi e lalolangi e anga hala. Nā kai lole lole, nā kai ai whahia. Ha ko mena o whania e koe a mautolu, mo e moko ina e koe a mautolu e tua, ke hi tau a hosi. Whakamunui na mai a mautolu ke heka mataanga te hoka he whakausianga, ke hi ngoa he iki o Yesu Kaliso, ha mautolu a whakamui ke momu iai tukulangi, au loa whakamole mole. Amen.
Whamalo lahi atu ki he whaiwhekau, Bendegoso Dongiatama. Thank you so much for sharing those words of inspiration, reminding us about the 5 books. You know, in the 5 books, there's also another name change where Jacob became Israel and wrestled for a blessing. So I'm hoping at the end of this, the blessings will, like the rain outside, pour down upon us. Also, thank you for reminding us about the heavenly language, which actually travelled from Tonga on a waka to Niue and then dispersed across. And I see Anahila at the front actually agreeing with me. For today's program, we have guest speakers. We have a testimonial speaker before we give a presentation about what Moana Connect is about. And once we round out the day, we will also give everyone here a chance to see our new offices. Some housekeeping rules. Bathrooms are at the back, so Tama to the left and Tene to your right. And in case of an emergency, if there's a fire, I'm sure the rain will deal with it, but in case of an emergency, please follow the exit signs and congregate in the car park. So one of the things about being Tongan is that often you're a crier, and I wrote these introductions out, and I'm going to try not to cry because of the mawhana I feel in terms of welcoming our next speaker. I have the honour of introducing the chairperson of our board, Associate Professor Dr. Teuila Percival. Often when I need inspiration, motivational quotes always come in handy, and I found one by Maya Angelou, which is Teuila to the T, and it reads, "Each time a woman stands up for herself without knowing it, possibly without claiming it, she stands up for all women. In the same sense, each time a Pacific person stands up for themselves, they stand up for all Pacific without knowing it, or possibly without claiming it. How lucky are we that she is both?" Usually with introductions, it's common to hear a long list of credentials. For example, associate professor, medical doctor, or a companion of the Queen's Service, Order for Services to the community. And duly noted, Teuila, you are all of those things. But in everything, we go back to our tuk whakaholo, where we all started. And again, this is what you get for having me as MC. Dr. Teuila Percival is a proud daughter of Ofo in Manua and Boaboa in Sava'i. And I didn't have time to check, but I'm sure she's also from Golonga and Golomotua as well, but we'll check that after. She is the first Samoan paediatrician in New Zealand and has spent most of that time at the coalface working in South Auckland with Māori and Pacific children. When a state of emergency is declared in the Pacific, you'll often find Teuila on the first plane over to help. And as an impressionable, once upon a time shy master's student, I remember sitting in an auditorium filled with non-Pacific people talking about why Pacific people are sick. Teuila, with her hand up, rises and she speaks. And the words that she speaks are words that I wish I could say. Her words reflecting the experiences of my mother and my grandmother, whose voices are often suppressed in mainstream settings, and she does it with grace and dignity. I remember thinking, Teuila, I want to be like you one day. Without further ado, because my introduction is probably longer than what she's going to say, can we give a big round of applause to the chairperson of our board, Associate Professor Dr. Teuila Percival.
Thank you very much, Saini, and welcome everybody. It's a wonderful day. Lau Whionga, Aupito, we are so blessed to have you here and your fellow members of Parliament. Lau Whionga, Consul General Samoa, thank you for allowing us to be in a little part of Samoa in the middle of Māngere. It's a wonderful setting and we're very grateful. I want to acknowledge mana whenua of Māngere, on whose land we rest and under whose korowai we shelter. And I want to say each of their names: Te Akatai Waiahua, Te Kawarau Amaki, Nai Tai ki Tamaki, Ngāti Maru, Ngāti Tamatara, Ngāti Tamaoho, Ngāti Ata, Ngāti Whātua. So thank you, mana whenua, for allowing us to be here as well. We appreciate that you walk with us in our journey. You know, 5 years ago, we started off as a little research team at the university, and we had great ideas and great dreams. We wanted to move into the community and to make the work we do, our skills and our resources, our minds, we wanted it to be here. So everything we did stayed here in the community. We didn't feel comfortable with locking our reports and our work away in peer-reviewed journal articles and filing cabinets. So we thought about it, and it was a bit of a decision really, because we had to step out into the world with no guaranteed income, families to feed, and with a dream to fulfill. And it was a big decision. And there are many people in this room who supported us. And you are the wind beneath our wings as we took off. The original members, you will all know, there's Jacinta, of course, Mary, Amio, Saini, myself, and Dudley. And we were the little team that took off. And I want to acknowledge a few people. One of the most important people that we spent a bit of time talking to at the very beginning was Pat Snedden. Tēnā koe, Pat. So he provided us some clarity, some objective thinking. I remember him looking over his glasses at us and saying, I think you've got a plan. And it gave us confidence to step out. And I want to acknowledge our colleagues at Pacific Health at the university, always willing to share their wisdom and support us, always there. We continue to work together. I want to acknowledge Jude McCall as well, who we continue to work with. Rachel Enosa, I don't know if she's in the room, but she gave us our first job. So when we, that first year, Mary had the IRD on speed dial because we really struggled with money, and Rachel provided us with our first job, which is very, very important. We've also been very fortunate. In the last 4 years, we haven't had an office, and we're very fortunate that the Pacific Midwives, in particular Tish at Ngahau Māngere Birthing Unit, provided us with a home for the past 4 years. So we had a place to work from, and we're very grateful to the Pacific Midwives and the Birthing Unit for their taking care of us. So we started off with 6, and we're now 26, and you'll see and meet all the members of Moana Research, now Moana Connect, as we go through this morning. You'll hear from Jacinta as she tells you about our journey and all the things that we're doing and want to do. And I hope you will enjoy today and celebrate this wonderful 5 years that we are celebrating. We're very, very grateful that you've come along to be with us. We appreciate that it's not been the greatest of weather, but as Saini says, sometimes when it rains, it's a good thing. It tells us that we are blessed. So thank you for coming. Mahalo soifua.
Thank you, Teuila. The next person who I'm going to introduce actually doesn't need any introductions. He is the King of Mangere, the heart of South Auckland, and I will say that without bias because I live not far from here. It is an honour for us to have, we actually had, when we met as a group, it was who should we get? And I think for us it was a no-brainer because of the work that you do, Honourable Aupito William Sio. It warms our heart and we're mawhana to have you here with us. He is our representative in Parliament. He is our minister for the Ministry for Pacific Peoples. And as I noted, he's also the MP for the best electorate in New Zealand. So if we could please, just a round of applause for Honourable Aupito William Sio.
Firstly, thank you, Reverend. Thank you for blessing this morning. I regret that when I went to Fiji, the Mangere son went with me and stayed there. And so, but rain is a blessing to us all. I want to thank Dr. Teuila Percival and the team here at Moana Research, now Moana Connect. Jacinta for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here, joined by my colleagues Anahila Kanangatanga Susuki and Lemaunga Lydia Sosene. We're really pleased to be here amongst you and to be part of your 5-year celebration. Thank you also to the Consul General Samoa. This whale has a very special meaning for me, the local board, the councillor from Manukau City, Māori, many of our elders who are no longer with us, who are very generous in enabling the government of Samoa to buy this land. And of course, the work of the whale was really to the Consul General in the last 13 years. The structure would not stand here if it were not for his leadership. Nawa Whionga Whautoi, thank you for the tireless work in representing Samoa, but also in working with our communities and always being open and allowing events such as this in this structure and always saving the discounted prices for me. Dr. Percival has acknowledged so many of you here, and I'm not going to repeat that. So I'm sitting there thinking, this podium feels like I'm on an island stranded away from where the people are. It reminded me, no one stands alone like a mountain. We all need one another. It is one of our strengths, traditional strength, that everybody has a role to play. It reminds me of my mother saying, whatever thou art, act while thy part. And I suppose I use that to simply acknowledge Dr. Teuila Percival, the team, Jacinta, all your partners, those who have contributed to your journey thus far. And I think because of the community support to you, as well as your own leadership, your own innovation, your vision, you've managed to break some of the statistics for small businesses or social enterprises that start. The stats say that 20% of startups fail in the first year. 50% fail after 5 years. 65% fail in 10 years. But I don't get that sense that that's what's going to happen to you in the next 10 years. I think what's important here is the fact that the area that you're focused in is particularly important in our journey as Pacific peoples of Aotearoa, New Zealand. So it really is a pleasure for myself, my colleagues, and for all of us here to join with you in launching your new rebranded name, Moana Connect, and I think it's fitting. It's fitting also to note that you're expanding from health into workforce development, but also, more importantly, what I'm loving is the fact that you're also expanding into the community. I want to say, when I came into minister, this government says we need evidence. We need the correct data that is designed to enable us to make our way forward and bring about impact in our vision of transforming our communities. And the reality was, there wasn't. I could make up a data and none of the CEOs would challenge me. But I could guess at what was happening in our communities. There is not enough data specific to our communities. And therefore, how can anybody make a decision that is correct for our communities if that data is not relevant? But more importantly, in this day and age, as I make my way around not just Aotearoa, New Zealand, but across the Pacific region, it's not just scientific data that is important. It is our traditional knowledge. And you would have heard me repeat over and over again, Pacific languages, cultural intelligence is so important to finding lasting and enduring solutions to some of the most complex problems that our communities face, not just in Aotearoa, New Zealand, but right across the Pacific region. The profile of our Pacific communities here in Aotearoa, New Zealand is no different from the profile of what's happening in the Pacific, in the area of health, especially in the area of health. So I want to thank Moana Connect. I'll get my tongue used to that. I want to thank Moana Connect, your team. I know that in the last 2 years, as the Ministry for Pacific Peoples went out to make sure that we were holding virtual meetings in an effort to get information out in our different languages. I know that as hard as they worked to do that, our communities did not get a sense of confidence about our direction in terms of our COVID vaccine rollout unless you were there. And Dr. Percival, I want to thank you, Jacinta, and all of our other experts that were part of that, but I know that you played an integral role in that because it kept everybody confident, kept everybody safe, and where we are now at is a result of that. But we're going to call on you for more because at this point in time there is a resurgence and we're going to need your help in all of that. So I suppose I want to underscore and will continue underscoring the importance of research, data by Pacific for Pacific. The easiest way I can explain what that means is the big house or the meeting house or the decision-making house relies on the whaleo, the small house, where those who do the work are there. And decision makers like myself, policy makers in any government agencies, public or private, the work that you do is important and critical in order to make sure that they make right decisions and that they follow through. There's another saying, one of my advisors, whom I trust very, very well, shared with me a report not too long ago, and what I captured from the report is you cannot use the master's tools to change the master's house. Because the master's tools are to maintain the status quo. You can interpret that in any way you mean, but for me, if I look around the Pacific region and what's going on, whether it's health, whether it's education, whether it's climate change, we continue to use tools that were created to maintain the power structures that have always been there. And so how do we make a change in the master's house? We've got to create our own tools. And those tools, in my view, come from traditional experiences, cultural intelligence, comes from our stories. But we've also got to be a lot smarter and use the Palangi way, because our stories were captured in poetry, our history were captured in oratory and songs, and those are fast disappearing because we're not passing that on into our young generation. So your work in writing those reports become even more critical as we move forward. I suppose my role here is to ensure that you on the ground are supported and to try and facilitate so that there are no blockages within the system. That's not easy, but it can, with sustained and consistent oversight and with the right people in the right places. So in this financial year, we were able to secure $49.9 million over 4 years to support the growth of our Pacific health providers. And so I think within that, and I'm told by those who gave me advice that that is the biggest amount of money that's been put in that, and so be it. What that's about, it's about we've got to grow the number of our Pacific providers so that the work is being led by our people, the delivery and the design is being led by our people. That's not to say that we don't work with others. We've got to collaborate. We've got to work better and smarter, but in a culturally appropriate way that is fitting and is designed to make an impact on the people that are part of our families. And so any of you who are interested in pursuing how do you access that $49.9 million, there's a young man in the back there by the name of Corey who's in the new system. I think he might have brought his application forms and checkbook. Please talk to him. Many of you will be aware of the health reforms that's underway. I will continue to hold that system accountable as much as I'm confident about where we are. Because, and this is something that we've all got to do, the driving force behind that reform is to address the inequities. I don't need to tell you because we live and breathe those inequities. But they're also about, when I'm talking inequities, I'm talking about racism and discrimination within the system. Now, that's not to say to you, you've got to have a fight with everybody that you come across. And as I say to the people of Māngere, challenge what government officials say to you. But don't fight. Don't punch anybody. Share your experiences. Hold them accountable. Because only through that I think we'll find the right place. I'm a believer. No government agency, no politician has the monopoly on good ideas, on solutions that are lasting and enduring. Oftentimes, it is the community that comes up with simple solutions that are more practical and easy to apply, and you can see the impact like that. So that's one of the reasons why I think where you're heading is critically important. Again, I want to thank here's the thing. When I first met with you some years back, I came back to the office and I said, gosh, isn't it amazing? The men in our communities hold the matai titles, but it is the women that do everything. It is the women that get everything done. And so I just want to acknowledge that. As a Matai from the Ainga Salvalasi, I have no qualms in acknowledging the power of women in all that our community does, and thank you very much for your leadership in this. Now, this is a celebration. Maybe I won't do my war dance. Ua whaawhetai, ua whaawhetai, ua mali e mata e vai, ua tasi lava oi, ua tasi lava oi, I lone Patia! Mai se whamneanga se tasi mo Moana Connect. One cheers for Moana Connect. Hip hip!
Whawhetai, Honourable Aupito William Sio, for your words. In a world that's constantly talking about the importance of evidence-based, he's pretty much summed it up perfectly. I remember, and this is again what happens when you make me MC, I'll tell stories. I remember being in front of a young Samoan mother testing out a tool that the children get screened on before school, so before school checks. And there were a whole list of questions, and then she stops me, and a lot of the questions started off with, do you have any concerns? And she said, when can I start talking about the good things? For Pacific, and that's the reason why it's important for us to be able to create our own research, and that research be transformative so that our communities can tell their stories their way. We can celebrate their success, celebrate the things that make them strong and resilient. When you talk, Minister, you remind me of your 6 Bs, and I wanted to mention that. Bold, brainy, bilingual, bicultural, brown, beautiful. I think I'm all of those things. And after your speech today, I'd like to add another B, and that's B for blessed. As Pacifica, we are blessed because we don't stand alone. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and for me, that will continue to be our why. So again, on behalf of the team, malo Aupito. Traditionally, when we talk about voyaging into the unknown, for our ancestors, it was about reading the stars and using them as a compass to direct our paths. Unfortunately for me, I'm short-sighted and I can't read a compass. So to say that 5 years ago we were nervous about the path ahead, with, again, as Teuila noted, no money, would be an understatement. Our next speaker, she took us in, and she embodies what it means to be a Pacific mum. She has been with us from the start of our journey and always made us feel at home at Ngā Hau Birthing Centre. It is fitting that Tish Taihia speak. Tish is a New Zealand-born Samoan midwife. Look at all of these amazing Samoan women. A mother, a grandmother. She came into midwifery 22 years ago as a mature student. She worked as a midwife at County's Manukau District Health Board in various roles, including her last as charge midwife manager of the high-risk antenatal and postnatal ward at Middlemore Hospital. As a member of the Pacifica Midwives Aotearoa, Tish has been a part of a collective who envisioned having primary birthing unit in Mangere for many years, and she is currently the clinical midwife manager for Ngā Hau Mangere. If we could please give her a round of applause.
Maro lava, le soifua. Kia ora, koutou katoa. Greetings to one and all. To the esteemed guests and colleagues, your presence is acknowledged. I'm honoured to be with you today to applaud the 5th year celebration of Moana research and the auspicious launch of the next level, Moana Connect. Greetings to you, Jacinta, and your fabulous team. Well done. The Samoan quote, "Tautua nei, maso manguia taiao," translates to "serve now for a better tomorrow." And that characterises, well, the themes and intentions at the heart of all your projects promoting maternal and fetal, maternal and infant well-being, flowing on to support the whole family. Now, 3 years ago, to the month actually, after blessings from our founder and the open arms of the manager, plans were made for Moana Research to move its operations into the newly opened Ngāho Māngere Birthing Centre. The symbiosis of this arrangement could not have been any better, as our areas of passion and skill sets blended well with common values and a desire to provide solutions for our community. Your valuable research concerning Pacific maternity issues, especially in Counties Manukau, has provided evidence for best practice that we as the midwifery clinicians at the birthing centre stand on to deliver an option of care that has not been seen in this region. And just like Moana Research, ground that has not been tread before is now being courageously explored with possibilities that seek to engage Pacific peoples enthusiastically because of the ways it is now being presented by our people. There have been some interesting times at Ngāho Māngere that saw your visitors being greeted in reception whilst a woman in strong labour was whizzing past in a wheelchair in a gust of imminent birth, or the times when the focus groups that were very serious at times were interrupted by the bells. But our relationship is just beginning. We are now not only the birthing centre, but also your Western Car Park division. So it is with wholehearted well wishes that we bless your new workplace and celebrate your future. In closing, I'd like to quote an excerpt from a presentation at your 2019 Pacific Data Sovereignty Seminar by the Tongan researcher Dr. Ana Taufiulu Naki. We must take ownership of who we are and what we call our own, ours, our data, our Pacific heritage, our new creations. Teuila Percival. Thank you.
Thank you, Tish. As mentioned before, it will always be our second home, and we've just moved down the road, so no doubt we will see you on a regular basis. Again, on behalf of the team, we wanted to present you with a mea alofa as a sign of our appreciation. O le tangata malona ainga, o le tangata malona whaasina sinomanga. Every person belongs to a family, and every family belongs to a person. The saying comes to life when introducing Malaitongia Jacinta Fa'alili-Fidow. 5 years ago, we nudged her without asking for consent to take the helm, and without hesitation, she led us. I remember her reassuring us that we, again, with no jobs and no money, that we would be all right. And by the grace of God, she was right. I believe it was because of the village that raised her. So I acknowledge Cinta's mother and her late father. Ooh, here's the mawhana coming in. We would not be here today without her leadership, her optimism, and her heart to make a difference in our communities and to always remember our why. You know, when I was doing the introduction, she said, "Oh, Saini, when it comes up to my turn, just say, oh, up next is Jacinta." And that is so typical of her. But again, this is what happens when I'm designated MC, and we truly wanted to honour her and let you all know, if you don't already know, just how amazing she is. But before we welcome our incredible CEO, Malaitongia Jacinta Fa'alili-Fidow, to the podium, we would like to play a video that shares the story of our journey over the last 5 years and where we are now. So enjoy the video while I think Jacinta braces herself, because she's just as emotional as I am. Malo.
Five years ago, 6 of us met at McDonald's, Otara, for us just to talk about whether we should go out on our own. We started off with no money, and we really had only a few goals in mind, but a lot of heart and passion for where we wanted to go.
A lot of it was sailing into the unknown, and for us especially, it was believing that we could make a difference, and I think that optimism hasn't left us.
It's just been such an amazing journey. I just thank God for every moment, because not one of us knew how to do a business, run a business.
And so it's really interesting that we started off, in a room in a fast food restaurant, to where we are now, which is a brand new office here at the Whaleo Samoa Consul General Building. We've grown so much that we've had to rebrand. So the expansion is because the way we do research isn't just your standard research. It isn't just about writing a report or a publication and then leaving it at that. So for us, working in the communities has meant that we want to make sure that our research is shared, and we want to make sure that more people learn about what we find, hence Moana Learning. And then from there, we wanted to turn it into a lot more action and a lot more projects where we partner with our communities to make sure that we can empower them too in their journeys of well-being. And so that resulted in us setting up a community vaka. So we have these 3 service vakas, research, learning and community, and then we also have our internal vaka, which is operations, and that keeps the Moana Connect ship humming along.
I love having to work alongside our communities, especially about issues that are really relevant to them, and being able to translate that into programs that are informed by our communities.
The great opportunity for an organisation like Moana Connect is we are connected with our community. We understand our community. We understand the depth of evidence and science, as well as the needs of our community and how they would like things done.
I believe Moana community makes a difference from our babies all the way up to our elders. We've been able to listen to our communities. So when our communities come to us and they talk to us about issues, we're able to work alongside them. And when we keep doing that, working together with our communities, we're able to make a difference, because we're not telling our communities what to do. They're telling us what their needs are, and we're working together on this journey and navigating and paddling together.
So the Moana Learning Vaka is a vaka that ensures that our families, narratives and our stories are delivered to our communities and all the different forums, for example, the academia space, our key stakeholders, that we are accountable for our Pacific narratives just to be disseminated widely.
It's important that the evidence that we produce actually reflects the voices of our communities. I'm extremely excited about my vaka because we've got young, emerging Pacific researchers who are passionate about serving their communities. When we say that we want research that's transformative, our vakas allow us to do that.
Moana and the term Connect, on their own, have their own values and concepts, but together, that describes us as an organisation and what we're about.
Get the sound going. I le ava mai whaaloalo te tauai, te whaatulo atu pa ia man malol ua whio mai le nei aso. Ia mai se sunga whaafeangainga, Reverend Benedict Koso. Whaape fo i la fionga ia Aupito William Sio, ma le saunoanga matungo fie le nei tai au. Whaapetai lea lofo lea tua, ma whai ona tai mai lo tō soifua, ma lo tō manuia. Ia whaape fo i la fionga ia whaolotoi, Rupena Pongi, le maunga, Lidia Sosene, and Anahila. I malpa ia la silasi o tātou atunuu. Whaapetai lava mo le tō lango mai a mātou nei Moana Connect. Ai ia vea lo leo whaatau wa e whai masui o Moana Connect. E whai atu sina whaamatalanga pu'u. A wale nei wha moi. Tā alofa lava, mā lo e tau lava. Kia rana tātou katoa toa. Whakalofa lahi atu kia matolosi. Ni sampula vinaka, mā lo ni tēnā koutou katoa. What a privilege it is to have you join us here this morning. As you can see, the sun is slowly shining after this wonderful blessing. And to be honest, we really didn't think that we would be able to fill all the chairs this morning, which is why we sent out the live stream link. We are so grateful for your fellowship and your support. And it is so beautiful looking out and seeing your wonderful, stunning faces. So thank you so much. I was given one job today, and that is to explain to you all about what Moana Connect is about and why we are rebranding. But I'm hoping that all of the presentations this morning and the video that you've just seen helps explain that. Because when you ask me to explain something, you know, because we're researchers, we like to give relativity and context, as my darling husband would call it. I take the scenic route, followed by please get to the point. And so if you don't remember anything today, the point is we do a lot more than research, and we wanted our brand, our organization name to reflect that. It's simply that. So we are Moana Connect to reflect a very dynamic approach to research. So if I do take the scenic route, that's really the whole point. As Moana Research, and sorry, I'm looking for the dongle thingy to be able to change it. Great. Wonderful. So as Moana Research, our work did grow in direct response to demand for research that was anchored in our Pacific realities and worldviews. And we can do that anywhere. But we knew that we had to be in a space where we felt we could make key decisions and be completely autonomous in that. So we did. We set it up 5 years ago. But because of our approach to research, it was much more involved and accountable to our Pacific families and our communities. Often our work starts at the end of a report because, as you know, the advocacy is so important. We have people who do God's work, our frontline workers, the critical shortage even, and we know that they need support in so many areas, including advocacy and helping to improve our systems. So we wanted to contribute to that. On Sunday we had a bit of a family appreciation day. This whale, beautiful whale, was filled with all our family members because we wanted to acknowledge them first for the support that they gave us. And Reverend Pole, who is the dad to one of our colleagues, Kalesita, got up and he talked about the fact that often our sailing pioneers before us, when they would go out onto a voyage, sometimes they would connect old sails to build a new sail to go on a bigger and longer journey. So that is indeed what we are doing. We have built a new and bigger sail to embark on a new and bigger journey. And we want to thank you for your support in that. And so there's no real need to go into too much detail about why we chose the term Moana. We are reclaiming who we are as Pacific peoples. And as staff, we are truly proudly a Moana people. And we want to continue to serve our communities and to recognize all of our unique Pacific ethnicities and identities that we hark back to, including Aotearoa. And we want to make sure that we honor our role as tangata tiriti and ensure that we too can contribute to the aspirations of tangata whenua here in Aotearoa. And so as connect, the term connect, sorry, I'm not sure if I'm going the right way. This speaks to our ability to connect across multiple platforms, internally across the organisation, between our waka, between cultures, languages, paradigms, and also the many stakeholders and community groups that we work with. But it's also about connecting our people with the right systems, places, and people. So we do this through our own specialised skills and experiences to help fill some of the gaps through the points of connection that we do. It includes research, learning and community projects. So we have 3 services waka, as you've heard earlier. Our research waka is led by Dr. Siini Taufa, our MC extraordinaire this morning. Amio Ikihele for community and Mary Roberts, also our Deputy CE for learning. Each one with their own incredible teams, but connecting across waka as and when needed. And so Moana research will continue. It's not going away, it's just going to be its own distinct unit. And so Siini heads up an incredible team of researchers, evaluators, and we've got 3-year HRC projects, in fact a couple of them. Thank you to HRC, Tolete, for your support. And we've also delivered on 1-week projects. We delivered one for the Department of Prime Minister and Prime Minister and Cabinet, which was 1 week. We had to deliver that. We were here all night. So we're very versatile and flexible in the way that we can deliver research and evaluation and rapid insights. And so Moana Learning is really about, I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? Moana Learning is really about embodying the transformation of research into learning and advocacy. So by creating a space to focus more on that translation in meaningful ways, Mary and her team can hold us accountable for making sure that research doesn't just sit in a report. And many of you here know that. We have to be accountable to Malia and Mawhana in our Kakala research framework for returning that research back to our communities to effect change alongside those who hold key positions in policy and practice. And then also for our community waka, as you've heard Amil speak about, it is about our community links and collaborative partnerships with our families, groups and organisations. So some of you may have heard of our flagship program, Digifale, and then also My Baby's Village. These are 2 examples of what sits in Moana community. Those are our 3 public-facing waka. And then we have 1 internal waka, and that's Moana Operations. And so this is led by Rasha Vangawao, who's our operations manager, and they are pretty much the backbone of our organisation. So all those, systems that we've all come to be familiar with, administration, IT, finance, HR, they develop a framework that is much more aligned and responsive to what we need. If we need koha, we don't have to go through a 10-tier system just to be able to sign a form and get koha for our ainga. So that's an example of a very responsive operations fit-up. And so, of course, for us in the beginning, we were very much focused on the early years. We came from health. Then we learned that actually health is everybody's business, and I see a lot of you nodding your heads. And I know that as government, all of our government organisations have certainly moved towards recognising Pacific well-being and the collective efforts that we have to make. So it is through our 3 waka, we hope that we can be much more responsive through health and well-being approaches that are holistic. And we know for a fact that MPP are about to launch their Pacific Wellbeing Strategy as well, and we look forward to that. So we do want to acknowledge our network, our incredible network, all those who we have signed MOUs with, all those we have done contracts with, even just our friends, those who just, we know that a lot of you are just people who support us and we support you. The reciprocity is something that we always appreciate. And we've done our best to reflect where you come from in this slide. We're trying to represent all of the organisations that we work with. And I just want you to know that, you must work with 1 or more of our staff members, that we really appreciate that. What we love about research is that it's not just sitting behind a laptop. Our favourite moments is engaging with our stakeholders and our families and communities. I want to also acknowledge our Pacific Advisory Group, Tish Taihia, Joe Glassy Rasmussen, Dr. Monica Nua, Jean Tesina and Natalia Ngasu. Thank you for your support over the years. Now, as researchers, of course, we look to our philosophers. Those who were talking well-being, co-design, all of these approaches that we use today, and we talk about well-being, these philosophers came up with it decades ago. They were the trailblazers, and it took a while for a lot of our systems to catch up. And so we continue to draw on a lot of their thinking, steeped in our Indigenous ancestral ways of understanding the world. We want to keep reclaiming that. And, you know, when we talk about, research in a very mainstream way, we want to weave all of that together. And so we want to be inspired by all of our philosophers, so much so that we've named all of our rooms and spaces after some of these frameworks. And we have approached each one of them individually, and through their generosity, they have all agreed and approved, which holds us accountable too. We have to make sure that whaawhale isn't just this theoretical framework. It has, as Teuila Percival Tamasese has reminded us, deep spiritual meaning and connotations. So we want to make sure that the minute we are not worthy, we will strip that plaque off our meeting rooms. So, you know, this is just an example of what we have to consider as Pacific researchers. And so it is our birthday. 12 years ago, our journey started, you heard about McDonald's, but we also sat in Sylvia Park, pulled out our laptop and signed up onto the company's website, 5 years, 12th of July, 2017. And I think we were a bit naive back then, but we did a lot of governance workshops and, you know, we did all of those, a lot of training just because we wanted this to work. And we started off with 6, and as you've heard, we are now 26. Our incredible staff who have joined us on our journey have helped result in this bigger organisation. And often our mentors, all of you here today have mentored us at some point in our journey. But Teuila alluded to Pat Sneddon, who really gave us some really kind of like good advice, strong advice. And this is kind of what it looked like. 5GS Limited, that's how we started off. And no, we are a telecommunications company. We started off as 5GS Limited before all the conspiracy theories, by the way. But this harks back to Hereine, our philosopher, one of her previous models, which was the 5Gs. We've heard of the 6Bs, but it was really around, our God, generational factors, geography. This is really testing me, and these two others. Thank you. So we've moved on from 5GS Limited, and we are now Moana Connect. And so, yes, one of the great things about being able to own a company is that we can make these cool decisions about where we want to reinvest our money. And so as a social enterprise, you know, while on the one hand there's that corporate, like, make profit, right? And we are called shareholders, but it doesn't sit well with us. But we have to learn all about that, because in order for us to be able to continue growing and to reinvest into our communities, we want to be able to do that. So, to do that, though, you have to trust the people you go into business with, right? And I have one of the highlights for the last 5 years is being able to work alongside these amazing co-founders. I would trust them with my life, my mortgage, my children, everything. And so for us, that integrity, the minute we sway, one of us holds the rest accountable. And so that's kind of the secret to our success as well. It just so happens that most of us are women, by the way. But Dudley Gentles... Yes. But Dudley Gentles, I have 4 sons, so I don't want to dismiss the importance of men. We have to support our men. Is sick. He is sick today, but he flies the flag for us, our biostatistician. He's really awesome. So we won this award in our first year, the Pacific Social Enterprise Award at the Pacific Business Trust. So we also felt a bit accountable to make sure that we did grow as a social enterprise. So little things like that, you know, kind of keep us motivated and keep us going. So we have been able to sponsor things along the way. It's so exciting to be able to do that. That's one of the cool things about owning a company. We can reinvest back into our communities through these cool little projects, and hopefully bigger sponsorships in the future. And so as a gift to ourselves, we moved into a new office. We are so grateful for Teuila Percival whaalotoru pena bongi, Teuila mo le whaavanoina mai o lo maota, mo mātou nei le saunga mo oi. But we are so proud to be here. And as you can see, this stunning whale, again, just our landlord is Pacific, this building is Pacific owned. Little things like that are the things that we look out for, and it really is a wonderful hub here. We can look down and see all the weddings and events that are here. But we do hope you get to have a look around the office, but just know that you are most welcome to pop in any time. We really wanted to have this space for our staff to make sure that, you know, they can feel at home as well. But at the end of the day, our why are our families, because they are the first ones to hold us accountable. So on Sunday, as I mentioned, all of our loved ones were here and beaming with pride. Sorry. They have been there with us for the last 5 years. I'm sorry, I promised I wouldn't cry. Even our children, hence the messy popcorn you can see in the movies. And so, yeah, even through COVID, when we became extra busy, they were there for us. Let me just wrap it up. I just want to say thank you again for being here. And I want to just, you know, acknowledge our wonderful team. And I'm putting their photos up because you're also here because of one or more of them. I'm going to invite Hereine Roberts to come up and introduce this next part. We could have got professional entertainment, but Teuila told us that we must do a siva. We thought she was joking, but we are going to entertain for you.
Talofa lava o lo'u ingoa Hereine Roberts. So on behalf of Moana Connect, we would like to thank you all for coming today. And by showing our appreciation, we all came up with a Samoan siva to perform just for you. So we hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Samoa, fa'amua le tua o ia o lo'u fa'avae. Ao mai ni puapuanga, fa'amalo situ maupea. O te alofa ia te oela u Samoa. Talofa Samoa lo'u atunu upelele I say yo upese pese atu mafamatala Lo matango fiele mafaya upuna famatala Ua numerata sifo I oe ile Pacifica La Samoa, La Samoa, fa'amua mua le atua o ia o lo'u fa'avae. Ao mai ni puapuanga, fa'amalo situ maupea. O te alofa ia te oe La Samoa. Le mawhai o na nalolo unu usang whanauai O lau whanua lanu lau awa o te tiwai E wina o malanga I whawhoi atu nuu se E le mawhai o na nalo o e Samoa lau pele Samoa, fa'amua mua le atua o tua o ia o lo ubaba a o mai ni pua puanga va amalo si tu mau pea o te alofa ia te oela usamoa la usamoa.
Can I get another round of applause for our... So we hope you enjoyed the entertainment, and for those of you who were mawhana by our performances, I will be taking the whakabale at the back after you go on tour. So as well as launching Moana Connect, it's also our 5th birthday. So 5 symbolizes God's grace, goodness, and favor towards us. Why we did the 5 Gs, so just FYI. And so it's something that we should celebrate. And I'd like to invite our directors onto the stage. Associate Professor Dr. Teuila Percival, Malaitongia Jacinta Fa'alili-Fidow, Mary Roberts, Emil Matinga Ikahele, and again a special acknowledgement to Dudley Gentles, who couldn't be with us today because he's sick. We've got a cake at the back, and I'm going to, for all of the Tongans in here, Anahila, I know you've got a great voice. We're going to sing a song while the boys make the cake, bring the cake out before we sing Happy Birthday. So I'm going to hoa it. So, Te uhiki ahoku leo whai atu ai whakamalo lea pea e kuhiva malo sisu aho Malo. They actually brought it up fast. I was going to sing the second verse, but we'll just end it there. We're now going to sing Happy Birthday, and remember it's Moana Connect. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Moana Connect. Happy birthday to you. Happy long life to you. Happy long life to you. Happy long life, Moana Connect. Happy long life to you. I forgot to get someone to light the candle again. This is what happens when I'm like excited about my singing. But that's fine. Are we going to cut the cake or is it okay? Okay, cool. Okay. So highlight for today, Saini singing. Make sure if the audio is good, tag me on Instagram. If it's not, then don't worry. Before we ask the minister to close us off in prayer, we want to again acknowledge everyone that is in this room, in this whale. Thank you for taking time out to share this moment with us through rain and shine. Again, another acknowledgement to our guest speakers, Honourable Aupito William Sio and Tish. There's a Tongan saying, "Koe koloa tonga, koe whaamahalo." So our treasure comes from our gratitude, and so we are, as a collective, just honoured to have you here. Also wanted to mention, after Reverend Bendigoso closes us off in prayer, there is food at the back. We wanted to make sure that we, that we listen to our leaders, and so no buffet today. We've got packed lunches because of COVID, but come to our 10th birthday and I promise you, I'll have it done in minutes, there will be a buffet. So there's lunch at the back, pre-packed lunch at the back, and also there's an opportunity for everyone here to go up and view our new office space. So I'll now invite our Reverend Bendegoso Tongiatama to please come up and close us off in prayer. Malo.
Best time of all time, piece of cake. And I take each of you to remember what we sang, long life, the Moana, and more beautiful blessing from God to all the new generation here in Mangi. Thank you very much. Let us pray. Days, nights, months, weeks, year after year, things come and go. Old things, bad things, good things, precious things. But your love and peace, O Lord, keep us safe. So we pray that you bless this Moana Connect for a long, long, long life. How many years ahead? Hundreds or 100 years ahead. For the generation of today and the generation of tomorrow. Bless all of us here to admire a fine day for the young children to learn from the old people how to live a good life in the future. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, this day and forevermore. Yes. Amen. Thank you.
That's squad, baby. Rex, Jay Sands.
Oh, say say you are complete. Tell me I get you. By the way that you move and the way that you smile. Say, oh my Dorima, baby, you be giving your hand, I'll take you anywhere. You give me something that I never had. Cause you care, but about to me and the family. Say, why you waiting for me to talk to you? Yeah, I'm gonna listen what y'all say. Yeah, don't move on and come here. Yeah.